Courtney Hadwin stood beneath the blinding stage lights at just 13 years old, gripping the microphone with trembling hands. The theater fell silent as the first notes of the song began to play. Nobody expected the shy teenager from County Durham, England, to unleash a voice so powerful that it would stun an entire audience within seconds. Her raw emotion, fierce energy, and soulful performance immediately captured hearts around the world. But behind that unforgettable voice was a young girl carrying dreams, pressure, and hidden pain. Courtney's journey would become far more than a story about talent. It would become a story of resilience, heartbreak, recovery, and hope. Before fame transformed her life forever, Courtney Hadwin was simply a small-town girl growing up in Heselden, County Durham. Born on May 6, 2004, to Marie and Paul Hadwin, she was raised in a hard-working and supportive family. Music filled their home from the time she was very young. Her mother often played classic soul and rock record around the house, and little Courtney instantly connected with the rhythm and emotion in those songs. Even as a toddler, she reacted to music in ways that amazed her parents. She would dance around the living room, wave her hands in the air, and sing along to melodies she barely understood. Her parents quickly realized their daughter had a special connection to music. Singing wasn't just something Courtney enjoyed, it became part of who she was. At school, teachers noticed her talent almost immediately. By the age of 8, she had already joined singing lessons and the school choir. Her music teachers praised the unusual depth and grit in her voice. While other children were shy during performances, Courtney seemed fearless on stage. She loved performing in front of classmates and quickly earned the nickname Rocker Girl because of her energetic singing and dancing. Unlike many children her age, Courtney treated music seriously. She practiced every day before school, standing in front of her bedroom mirror and rehearsing scales for hours. She learned breathing techniques, experimented with lyrics, and worked constantly to improve her voice. Her determination was remarkable for someone so young. At just 10 years old, Courtney formed a small neighborhood music group with local children. They called themselves Durham Soul. Parents helped buy instruments, and the group performed at local gatherings and community events. Crowds began noticing the young singer with a huge voice. A local newspaper even published a feature describing Courtney as a young girl bringing soul to County Durham. That article became one of the first moments that truly made her believe her dream could become reality. As her passion grew, Courtney began attending Shotton Hall Theater School, where she received professional vocal training. She learned how to shape emotion into every lyric she sang. Her instructors focused on phrasing, control, and performance techniques, helping her transform from a talented child into a genuine performer. Her first major public performance came during a festival in Durham City. Standing beneath bright stage lights in front of thousands of people felt terrifying at first. But once the music started, her nerves disappeared. By the time she finished her final note, the audience erupted into applause. For Courtney, that moment changed everything. She realized she belonged on stage. By age 12, her dreams had grown far beyond her hometown. She imagined performing on the biggest stages in the world. She even saved pocket money to help pay for future travel opportunities. Late at night, she would write down her goals and dreams, hoping one day her voice would reach people far beyond England. That opportunity finally arrived in 2018 when Courtney auditioned for America's Got Talent. Traveling to the United States for the first time felt overwhelming. She arrived in Omaha, Nebraska, carrying a suitcase, a leather jacket, and enormous determination. Backstage at the audition venue, contestants nervously rehearsed while producers moved people in and out of the holding area. Courtney quietly waited for her turn, clutching her audition form and trying to calm her nerves. Then came the moment that changed her life forever. Courtney stepped onto the AGT stage wearing a black leather jacket, dark jeans, and her signature fedora hat. The judges, Simon Cowell, Heidi Klum, Howie Mandel, and Mel B, looked uncertain as the shy teenager introduced herself. She barely spoke above a whisper. But everything changed the instant the music began. The opening chords of Janis Joplin's Piece of My Heart echoed through the theater. At first, Courtney sang softly, almost nervously. Then suddenly, her voice exploded with unbelievable power and emotion. She stomped across the stage with wild energy, channeling the spirit of a seasoned rock legend. The audience stared in shock. Simon Cowell leaned forward in disbelief. Heidi Klum's eyes widened. Howie Mandel covered his mouth in amazement. By the end of the performance, the entire theater had risen to its feet in a roaring, standing ovation. That audition instantly went viral. Within hours, millions of viewers shared clips of Courtney's performance across social media. By the next morning, her audition had gained over 10 million views online. News outlets around the world described her as the teenage Janis Joplin. Fans from every corner of the globe praised her fearless stage presence and soulful voice. Overnight, Courtney Hadwin became a global sensation. As America's Got Talent continued, Courtney faced enormous pressure to live up to the hype surrounding her audition. Yet she remained focused and disciplined. Between rehearsals, interviews, and television appearances, she still worked on school assignments with the help of every day involved vocal exercises, stage rehearsals, and preparation for live performances. Producers admired her professionalism and work ethic despite her young age. During one unforgettable live show, Courtney performed Janis Joplin's Maybe with such emotional intensity that the audience erupted into cheers halfway through the song. Her fame skyrocketed. She appeared on major television programs like The Ellen DeGeneres Show and The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Record labels expressed interest in working with her, while fans flooded social media with messages of support and admiration. Despite the sudden fame, Courtney remained grounded. She frequently called home to stay connected with her family and reminded herself why she started singing in the first place, because music made her feel free. But just as her career seemed unstoppable, tragedy struck. In October 2018, Courtney joined a small tour featuring fellow America's Got Talent finalists. After weeks of traveling and performing, the group boarded a tour bus heading from Minneapolis to Madison, Wisconsin. Heavy rain poured throughout the night as the bus traveled along Interstate 94. Shortly after midnight, disaster unfolded. The rain-slick highway became dangerously difficult to navigate. As the bus approached a curve, strong winds pushed the vehicle sideways. The driver attempted to regain control, but the bus skidded violently across the wet road before crashing against a guardrail. Passengers were thrown from their seats as luggage and equipment crashed around them. Courtney struck her head and injured her knee during the impact. For several terrifying moments, chaos and silence filled the bus. Emergency responders arrived quickly and treated the injured passengers. Courtney was transported to a nearby hospital, where doctors confirmed she had suffered a fractured kneecap and a mild concussion. Although the injuries were not life-threatening, her recovery would require weeks of physical therapy and strict medical supervision. The crash shocked her fans around the world. Social media filled with messages of support, while fellow AGT contestants and judges sent heartfelt video messages wishing her a speedy recovery. A fundraising campaign even raised thousands of dollars to assist with travel and therapy expenses. Eventually, Courtney returned home to England to begin the long recovery process. Healing proved difficult both physically and emotionally. She relied on crutches and attended regular physical therapy sessions to regain strength in her knee. Doctors also limited her screen time because of the concussion, forcing her to step away from the nonstop pace of fame and touring. Yet during those quiet weeks at home, Courtney rediscovered herself. She spent time writing lyrics about fear, resilience, and hope. In a small studio set up inside her family's garden shed, she softly practiced singing again. At first, she only hummed melodies to avoid straining her voice. Gradually, her confidence returned. Support from her hometown meant everything to her. Neighbors delivered meals, friends visited regularly, and local musicians even performed outside her home one evening to lift her spirits. Those moments reminded Courtney that her journey was about much more than fame. Slowly, she regained her strength. By late November, doctors allowed her to resume light vocal practice. Standing without crutches for the first time felt like a huge victory. She recorded short singing videos for fans online, and many noticed a new emotional depth in her voice after the accident. Soon, Courtney returned to the stage for a charity performance benefiting injured young musicians. Wearing a green dress that concealed her knee brace, she performed an emotional original ballad inspired by her recovery journey. The audience responded with a standing ovation that lasted several minutes. That night marked a turning point in her life. Rather than allowing tragedy to end her dream, Courtney used the experience to grow stronger. She realized music could heal not only herself but also others facing struggles of their own. In 2019, Courtney focused on rebuilding her career while giving back to the music community. She joined benefit concerts supporting young performers and participated in events celebrating legendary soul singers. Audiences once again embraced her powerful voice and emotional performances. She also entered the recording studio to work on original music. Her songs explored themes of fear, gratitude, perseverance, and hope. Producers praised her ability to combine classic soul influences with a modern style. Beyond performing, Courtney began mentoring aspiring singers in County Durham. She hosted vocal workshops, teaching microphone techniques, confidence, and breathing control. Many young performers looked up to her not only because of her talent, but because of her honesty and resilience. She even launched a scholarship fund to help children afford music lessons. Watching young students perform songs inspired by her journey brought tears to her eyes. Courtney Hadwin's story became more than a tale about viral fame. It became proof that dreams require courage, discipline, and strength to survive difficult moments. She experienced global success, painful setbacks, and emotional healing, all before adulthood. Yet through every challenge, one thing never changed: her love for music. The shy girl from County Durham who once stood nervously beneath stage lights discovered that her voice could inspire millions. And even after heartbreak and hardship, she continued singing with the same passion that first amazed the world. Courtney Hadwin's journey reminds us that true talent is not only about fame or applause. It is about perseverance, authenticity, and the courage to keep moving forward when life becomes difficult. Her story is still being written, and the world continues to listen.